You ready?
I'm ready, dog.
Welcome to Chinese news.
It comes from China. China. China.
Chinese news.
Sorry, stepped on it a little bit there. SCMP, that's the South China Morning Post, has a headline. China plans its first human flight on a jet-powered skateboard able to climb 3,000 meters high.
Cool.
The hoverboards are here. And we'll get to some of the other things.
Jet-powered skateboard.
Uh-oh, lost you.
Is it sponsored by Red Bull?
Sorry, I lost you. You cut out for a while.
Oh, man, it was such a good joke, too. I said, is it sponsored by Red Bull?
Oh, yeah. Good joke. Yeah.
Good. Thank you.
Yeah. The first human test flight in China on a jet-propelled skateboard will take place next year, according to a Beijing-based defense contractor developing the technology. So this is your CCP, the Department of Defense CCP version. The small...
Yes.
Yes. The small vertical takeoff device powered by 4 micro turbojet engines can lift a person or cargo weighing over 100 kilograms or 220 pounds up to 3,000 meters. That's about 9,800 feet high. 9,800 feet. Once in the air, the passenger
can 2 miles.
Once in the air, the passenger can stand and hover for 10 minutes or charge in any direction at a speed of up to 150 kilometers per hour. That's 93 miles per hour, Basil.
That is so extreme.
Talk about Iron Man and Iron Man suits. It's like you get into this thing, your little hoverboard, you go straight up about, almost 2 miles or something, not quite 2 miles. And then you can hover there and, I don't know, pretend you're a god or something.
Could be a sniper.
You can be a sniper.
A sniper stand,
Yeah, it's probably not very stable for that purpose, but also, and then you can just take off in any direction. I don't know how long it takes to get up to 93 miles per hour, but there you go.
Well, I know one way you could get to 93 miles per hour pretty quick.
What's that?
Turn it off.
Yeah. You want to go the direction, the down direction.
Just start falling. You could get going pretty fast, pretty quick.
With the help of a smart flight control system powered by artificial intelligence, the operation is as simple as a skateboard.
Of course, AI has to be involved.
Yeah, because AI is involved, the operation is as simple as a skateboard, said the Beijing Institute of Power Machinery, a contractor for China's space program and hypersonic weapons, in a poster at the China International Aviation and Aerospace Exhibition in Zhuhai, Guangdong. Quote, "We are making fastest progress in China. Our machine is simpler and easier to use than similar projects in other countries," an institute representative said on Wednesday. The institute said the skateboard was so smart it could fly on its own, allowing it to carry cargo or transport a passenger. Can you imagine? Gotta get into the hospital. Grandpa, strap in. Let me get you to the hospital quick.
That's a good point. Yeah, you could see for like medical evacuations or something,
Well, maybe
there from a battlefield or something.
It would be a really epic way to go out if it fails. You're flying, and then, oh no, Grandpa, and then the little hoverboard crashes into the side of a mountain or something. The institute said I already read that. The Chinese Navy could use the device to board on ocean liner hijacked by pirates, according to the institute. Very specific.
Hijacked by skateboard pirates, hoverboard pirates.
Well, okay. The Navy could use the device to board an ocean liner hijacked by pirates. So the pirates would have hijacked the ocean liner.
Jump team. Oh, I see.
And then the Chinese Navy would descend on the liner in their hoverboards.
Yeah.
This is sci-fi world. Other than military operations, the technology could also be applied in civilian sectors, including search and rescue, fire hazard evacuation, and urban transport, they said. The U.S. military funded numerous research projects to develop compact flying machines for individual soldiers during the Cold War, But these efforts were postponed because of technical challenges and safety concerns. In recent years, some companies in France and Britain showed the public prototype products, such as a flyboard and jet suit that could be used for various purposes, including military operations.
These names are kind of funny. There's like, how many ways can we say the same thing? Flyboard, jet jump board, whatever.
But the control of this equipment, I love this right here. The control of this equipment demands extensive training and a strong body, according to information on the company's website. Each unit also costs hundreds of thousands of dollars before mass production. The Beijing Institute said its jet-powered skateboard, codenamed SF-FB-30, was developed by a team deeply rooted in China's defense industry. No, it's a horrible name. China.
Name, yeah.
I think China needs to consult us. We will take, I'll accept payment in gold, Bitcoin, or we'll take the CBDC, the Chinese digital yuan.
Honestly, I'll just take, some positive algorithms.
Give us some algo. We'll give you a better
name.
YouTube
channel back.
The device was developed and built entirely with China's own microjet engine technology and materials, potentially enabling manufacturers to bring the cost down. Yeah, because they took the blueprint from other countries. So they can manufacture it on their own. But, this got me wondering because, first off, China reporting this, we know America probably has our own version of a jetpack or skateboard bound soldiers or something.
Oh yeah, we've got some great videos of U.S. soldiers playing on them.
Yeah. But if a war between, say, for example, China and the U.S. really breaks out in sort of the modern 21st century way,
a hot war,
are we going to see swarms of Chinese hoverboarders like descend upon a city, where just flying through like a big hive mind of locust, knocking over trash cans and, hitting people and breaking windows and yeah.
I mean, that is quite an image you paint there. I think it's interesting. It fits in a bit more with what I think it was General Milley was talking about.
Right. The urban type of
future
warfare.
of warfare. Right. Future of warfare is more geared towards small strike teams, strike teams who can be anywhere in the world in a matter of hours and supported by long range, high tech weaponry like space lasers and stuff like that.
Right.
So it's more like you wouldn't even notice it. You'd see like 3 guys 2 miles up in the sky zooming in their little jet boards, then landing in the middle of Times Square and calling down an orbital strike or something from space lasers. Well,
yeah. And the sort of the divide, because here's the thing, this is true in any war, in history, but especially now with the kind of technologies that we probably have, especially what the military has, when there's sort of collateral damage, when there's breakout of battles or wars or, mostly battles, these little, pockets of battles, breaks out into civilian territory, I get the feeling, and this is just based on my experience of watching movies in the 90s about terrorists, the terrorist threat, especially Middle Eastern terrorists, and then the day 9/11 happened. The feelings I got, the thoughts in my head as a young man, what was I, 17 or 18 years old? The thought in my head, and a lot of people, my friends, it's like watching a movie. Oh my gosh, we've seen this. Like, it's like exactly like the movie, the towers burning and the news and all this stuff. And since that time,
you're talking about like the
predictive programming,
right?
And since that time, the one genre that has really exploded in media is the superhero, the Marvel, Disney thing, and Marvel really, taking the crown. And in a lot of those movies, there's a lot of action sequences where the battle breaks out into civilian territory, and there's like aftermath, and there's news reports of like, Iron Man was here and da-da-da, Are we going to start seeing stuff like that where some rogue Chinese hoverboard gang, comes through New York, and then, people are kind of scurrying around and not knowing what's going on. And then because of the Chinese presence in that capacity, the U.S. super soldiers who have been in hiding all this time are released, and the public gets to see what our military are capable of with this kind of technology. And now we have, a real divide between sort of the military class and the peons that can't do anything about it, living in cities without cars.
Then the American, hoverboard squad comes in, but they're like some cool
they're doing tricks.
Sports heroes. Like, what's up, dude?
What up, bro?
Get out of our red, white, and blue, bro. Doing a kickflip and fighting the Chinese skaters.
Yeah.
It'll be like an 80s movie. All the predictive programming, we thought it was the technology and the terrorist events, but really it was the teen cool guy, crime fighters that's really going to come into play here.
Well, I'm also thinking hoverboard Back to the Future 2. Remember there's a whole hoverboard thing throughout the town, so anyway.
Well, I think to bring it kind of another way, the showbiz of war, because there is war, but then there's the showbiz of war. There's the parts of war that are not necessarily meant for a military strategic purpose, but for the public viewing, which has always been sort of a weird aspect to war about what's actually happening, what's the most effective, moves and strategies, and what can you just catch on camera? What is for the theater that is war? Because each government will have their own, domestic political reasons to have, good footage of their, military doing the coolest stuff.
Yeah.
And what we're talking about here has a lot of potential. I mean, it's of course a little bit silly, but how powerful of an image would that be for, a Chinese population to have footage of, a Chinese hoverboard strike force land in the middle of New York or whatever. I mean, just on that point, do you see Sean Penn gave an Oscar? So he went to Ukraine.
Yeah, I know about that.
And gifted, it was Sean Penn, right?
Right. I think so.
Yeah. Sean Penn gifted his Oscar, the golden statue, to Zelensky.
Oh,
and
wow.
made it this whole thing. And then I think Zelensky gave him some medals or something.
Oh,
but it was like, Sean Penn be like, I support you. You're going to do great. Here, take my Oscar.
Oh,
and then when you win the war,
you win the actor award, another actor award.
Right. He's like, they're trying to pass it off like, ooh, Sean Penn is giving him something very important and encouraging him to like win the war and bring his Oscar back to Hollywood or whatever. But it's literally, I mean, how are people not seeing this? This sort of the
it's
weird,
so obvious that it's beyond people's perception.
It's like some kind of weird spell that people are under that they can't see, that Sean Penn literally giving an Oscar, an award that he won for best actor in a film, the best portrayal of a role, giving that to Zelensky. How is that not like... How are they allowing that to get into the messaging of even the subconscious of the population? You literally have Zelensky being rewarded for playing a role very good and being so convincing. He gets an Oscar. It is absolute. I mean, I can only see that in its sort of occult significance to the whole thing. And for some reason, people just aren't seeing it, man. It is so weird. Yeah.
Sad.
So anyways, that fits in with hoverboards for some reason.
It does. It all connects eventually, there you go. So that's the little thing on China. It's still kind of it's still in the context of warfare, but kind of looking ahead and seeing what that looks like. And are white supremacists, white Christian nationalist supremacists going to have hoverboards? That's where we're headed, right?
The question we're all wondering.
I think that's what they're saying, is that, China has all this military capability. We got a domestic problem here, but hey, maybe they'll be the good guys if the Chinese hoverboard squad comes to attack us.
I want a hoverboard.
So do I. Oops, sorry. I want to see the demo of going up. What is it? 1,000? What is it? 300, 3,000, 10,000 feet in the air, and moving and hovering and moving at nearly 100 miles per hour. I want to see the demonstrations.
I don't want to see it. I want to do it, baby. I got a need for speed.
Yeah.
An adrenaline junkie. Maybe I can podcast from a hoverboard. Yeah, baby.
Podcast from a hoverboard. That'll be your goal. You want to be the first hoverboard podcast.
Yeah, I'm running out of records to set.